Today we have Rosa Maria from Lane Community College and Sophia from Central Oregon Community College. Thank you for joining us. Why don't we get started?
All right. Thank you so much for being here and having me. My name is Sophia Straneri, and I am representing Central Oregon Community College. So we will go over some specific things about COCC, but also just some general college info as well. So starting with COCC by the numbers, we were founded and established in 1949. We're the oldest community college in Oregon, which is super weird to think about, but that's a kind of fun fact about us. We have 4 different campuses in Central Oregon as a whole. So Bend is definitely our biggest campus, but we do have campuses in Redmond, Madras, and Prineville, and you're more than welcome to take classes at any of those campuses. We have 100% acceptance rate. So spoiler alert, what that means is if you apply with us, you will get in. We don't take GPA, test scores, anything like that. You just apply with us and you're in. That big number, that $1.72 million, that is our foundation scholarship fund. And so we sponsor a ton of students and pay for a lot of their tuition and fees to get their degree. And so I'll talk a little bit more about the foundation scholarship, but that's an amazing, amazing opportunity if you are wanting to come our way. Our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. So what that means is we have an average class size of 17 people. Sometimes we have smaller classes than that. Sometimes they're a little bigger, but they won't ever reach over 30 people. So you really get that personal experience, as well as your professor will know your name, and you will meet a ton of students in your class, and you might even have more classes with them within your program or whatever degree you're wanting to pursue. We have over 100 degree options. So we really do have something for everyone, whether that be a certificate, an associate's degree, or if you're wanting to just take your prerequisites with us and transfer on to a university to go and receive your bachelor's, you can do that as well. There's a lot of different options. And another unique thing about us is we do have a residence. So 330 students can live on our campus, and we'll talk a little bit more about the residence hall in this presentation. So if you haven't been to Central Oregon, it is beautiful. I'm actually from Springfield, so I feel like I'm coming home a little bit. And we are used to all the rain, right? It rains like 9 months out of the year in Springfield and Eugene. In Central Oregon, it barely rains. There is 300 days of sunshine. It is beautiful. We do get snow and ice in the winter, but it's harmless and it's so beautiful, as you can see with the pictures. If you like to ski, snowboard, hike, paddleboard, kayak, any of those types of things, this is definitely the place to be. So coming back to what my options are, I talked a little bit about that, but we kind of split it into 2 here. So we have career and technical options, and then the transfer options. So for career and technical, this is more hands-on learning. If you are the type of student that does not really want to sit and listen to someone talk, I totally understand that. You want to actually learn the material while you're doing it. And that is exactly what career and technical programs are. And these are really short term. A lot of these you can get done in a year or 2, if that. You can get them done very quickly. And the whole goal is for you to either get certified or get your associate's degree and go straight into the workforce. So whether that be any health careers, automotive, manufacturing and welding, we have an awesome culinary program, fire science, EMT, and we do have aviation, which is super cool, and criminal justice, and our computer information systems as well. Those are all career and technical. And so those are certificates and degrees you can specifically receive with us. And then switching to transfer degrees, these are degrees you won't receive with us. You will receive your associates of transfer degree and transfer on to a university. So for example, if you're wanting to go into education or maybe engineering, human services, anything like that, you would just take your prerequisites for that degree at a cheaper cost with us and then transfer on to a university either in Oregon or if you want to go out of state and receive your bachelor's degree. So how do you pay for that kind of stuff? How does tuition and fees and all of FAFSA and scholarships kind of work at COCC? So since you are all out of district students, which just means that you are not in the Central Oregon area, you would be paying $153 per credit. So it's a little over $6,000 for the whole year. And that's not including any aid. And so some aid that you can help with that is either the FAFSA or the ORSA, as well as the foundation scholarship. I actually went to COCC. I was a student there, and I did get the foundation scholarship, and it paid for all my tuition. So I definitely encourage you to apply for that. If you're a senior and you're thinking about coming our way, that scholarship is due in July. So you do have some time, but I definitely encourage you to do that. And then any local scholarships that you may have at your school right now or in the community that you have heard about, apply for them. It never hurts. And some resources we offer at COCC. And a lot of these resources will be at really any college you go to. So we have a career center. They can help you with your resume and cover letter if you need support on that. We have personal counseling. We understand that life gets hard and college gets hard, and we don't want you to have to go through that alone. So students get 5 free personal counseling sessions for the whole year. We have free tutoring as well, which is a huge resource. We have a disability services office if you need any accommodations inside or outside of the classroom. Diversity and inclusion. We have a ton of clubs for you to join, as well as different programs, whether that be our Latinx program, our Native American club, our LGBTQ plus club. There is really something for everyone. And if you don't find anything you like, you can make your own club, which is pretty cool. On-campus housing. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that in a second. Labs testing center. We have all that in our library. Sports and recreation. We have club sports, which are a little bit more competitive. You actually play other schools in Oregon. So for example, that picture right there, that is our rugby team. We don't have football, unfortunately, but rugby is like our football, and they are playing Willamette University right there. So that's pretty cool. And then we do have a ton of intramural sports as well, if you would like to join those just for fun. Student life and student government. Those are really fun things to be a part of, and student government is an on-campus job. And so that kind of brings me to the newspaper and other on-campus jobs. If you're wanting to work while going to school, that's a great option. They understand you're a student first, so they will work with you and they will work with your schedule so you're not super overwhelmed. And there are a ton of things you can do. You can work for the newspaper, you can be a part of government, you could be a tutor, you could give tours on campus, you could work in the gym. There's really a lot of things for you if you want to do that. So diving into our residence hall, we have 2 different types of room plans. And so all that means is that both of them are quad suites, but the difference is with the quad single right here, there are 4 separate bedrooms and 1 big room. So if you want more privacy, you can definitely have your own room, and then you share a living room and bathroom with 3 other people. And then the other one is a quad double suite. And so the only difference is that you are sharing the same room with that roommate. So there are 4 people all together. There's 2 people here, 2 people here, and same thing, sharing the living room and the bathroom. And so just some context for you, if you've never been on our campus, this is the residence hall here, and you're super close to all of the resources right over here. So the gym, our Coates Campus Center that I'll get to in a minute, and then our library that has those tutoring services, our testing center, computer labs, study rooms, all of that kind of stuff. And here are some pictures inside. And so this is a double quad suite, like I was talking about, with 2 people in the same room. And you can create your room however you want. You can create bunk beds. What comes with the room already is the bed, the wardrobe closet, desk, and chair. And then there's a game room down here around the corner. You can't really see it, but we do have a community kitchen that you can use literally whenever you want. If you're a midnight snacker, go for it. You can create something in there. And then for the Coates Campus Center that this picture is, this is where all of our food services are located. So this is the dining hall, and this is where you would use your meal plan. And we also have a coffee shop in here, as well as our just a to-go market. So if you need anything really quickly, any type of food, or they have like Band-Aids, medicine, anything like that that you need on hand, that's in there as well. All right, I went through that a little quickly because I want to make sure that Rosa Maria has time as well. But I am Sophia. My contact information is right there, and my coworker is Lindsay. You can contact any one of us if you have any questions. I will turn it over, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me chat with you today.
All right, everybody, welcome. So nice to see all of you this afternoon. I know it's very sunny and warm outside, so I appreciate you spending some time with us. So I'm just going to share a few slides. Most of you have probably seen me at your school as the admissions person for Lane here in Lane County. So you're somewhat familiar with what we offer. So Lane is the third largest community college in the state. There are 17 community colleges spread out through Oregon, including us, and of course, the Central Oregon Community College. So we have an annual enrollment of over 14,000 students. Our average class size is around 18 students. With our domestic and international students combined, we have over 50 countries represented at the college. The photo that you see there, that's the photo of our main campus. So we do have 6 campuses spread out through Lane County, including this one, which is where the majority of our students go to school. We also have a campus at Eugene Airport. That's where our aviation maintenance and our pilot program for students who are in those programs are located. We also have a dental clinic that is basically serves as a community dental clinic, but students who are in our dental programs, they actually do some hands-on sites there. And then we also have the downtown campus, which is located right across from the Eugene Public Library. That is actually where we have some evening programs, as well as our energy management program. And probably the most important thing for students coming from, either locally or coming from other areas, that is also where our student housing facility is located, called Titan Court. And I'll share a little bit more later in the presentation here. And we also have 2 small centers, one in Cottage Grove and another in Florence, for folks who live in those communities and want to start there and then eventually transition to the main campus. Given that you guys are local here to Eugene, Springfield, kind of a few fun facts about Eugene. So those I'm sure you're familiar with. Similar to Central Oregon Community College and all of our other sister community colleges, we tend to focus on 2 different areas, which is career technical education and transfer interest areas. So at Lane, we have over 40 career technical programs, and we have over 50 transfer interest areas, and many of the areas that you see here listed. I generally, given that we're not in person to talk with you in your classrooms at your schools, I definitely recommend students to spend some time looking at our list of programs because we have so much that we offer. And career technical is really focused on that student who is interested on a more hands-on experience. So you start and you complete those programs at Lane with the intention to get your work ready, so entering into the workforce. So we very much tailor our programs in career technical that meet the demands of our local workforce, because we're interested in students staying here locally and working here. But also we're intentional about making sure that those programs, if you're interested in moving, relocating to a different area within the state or outside of the state, that you can also take your experience and your credentials there. And for students, again, who are looking at starting at Lane and transferring to university, you'll definitely spend some time with us completing those general educational requirements to be able to transfer to a university within the state, or if you prefer outside of the state. But we know that primarily our students are looking at any of our local private or public universities. I will say the most competitive programs at Lane include any of our programs under health, medical, and fitness. That includes our nursing program, our dental hygiene, our physical therapist assistant. Some new programs that we just started recently included our cybersecurity 2-year degree, and we are also in the process of developing a multimedia animation degree. That's going to be a 2-year degree. I believe we are starting that this coming fall. So we'll be announcing more information about that soon. And then probably the other most popular area includes anything in our trades, whether that be welding, construction, apprenticeship, diesel, and some of the others. And many of you have probably already visited those areas. If you've ever visited, taken a tour of campus or come for like diesel days or some of our hands-on career day opportunities. So again, definitely take a look at our list of programs and feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions. For those of you enrolled in college now, and you are planning to then transition over to Lane, those College Now courses that you earned at Churchill High School will follow you to Lane. We do have, already a transcript for you, and we'll be able to see how much credit you've earned as part of our College Now program. If you decide, that you are not going to be enrolling at Lane and you maybe perhaps enroll somewhere else, just remember to make sure to request a transcript from us to send to your school so that they can see some of that college credit that you've earned at Lane. And then we also have some dual enrollment opportunities. This is something that we've been asked more about from prospective students. We know that many seniors and many students are looking at applying to multiple schools at the same time. So if you are, applying to our 2 main public universities in the state, that includes U of O, which is local here, and Oregon State University in Corvallis, we do work very closely with both of those universities the most, because we know the majority of our transfer students are looking at going there. But there's also opportunities for those of you who, are coming in, post senior year as a freshman into college, to experience the dual enrollment opportunity. So what this means is that you are dual enrolled at both institutions. You have to be admitted to one of the universities. For us at Lane, it's similar to Central Oregon, where we admit 100% of the students that apply for general admission. But the dual enrollment partnership allows the students to be dual enrolled at the community college, in this case Lane, and one of the 2 universities, and have access to more services, advising, resources, and being able to split your financial aid between both institutions, being able to live at the university residence hall, but primarily be enrolled at Lane. So if you're interested in that, let me know, especially for those of you who are seniors. I'm happy to connect you with the folks at one of the 2 universities, and of course, us to help you in that process. We also have some study abroad opportunities. For obvious reasons, we're not sending any students at the moment, but once we're able to do so, these are the 4 countries that we partner with for these specific programs for those students who may be interested in studying abroad and are not only earning a degree from us, but also earning a bachelor's degree moving forward with one of the universities listed here. Similar to other colleges and universities, I can't stress enough how important it is to access our services and offices and stuff, or centers. The reason is because once you graduate, you will no longer have contact with your high school counselor, and so you are primarily working with us. And so we want you to not be scared of us. We want you to reach out to us and tell us what you need, whether that would be advising support, or maybe you need some counseling, mental health aid opportunities, or services, or maybe you need you're not really sure what you're going to major in, and maybe you need to do some career exploration, or you're enrolled in classes but you're struggling in maybe math, writing, or any of our science classes. So there's tutoring in place. So definitely reach out to us. We want to help these services are there available for you to access them. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a housing facility called Titan Court. We don't require students to live at Titan Court, especially not our local students, because we know many of our local students are living at home. But if you are looking for student housing, want that on-campus housing experience, they are fully furnished apartments. They're located near LTD bus station. So if you're interested in learning more and seeing kind of the floor plans and the cost and all that, reserving your spots, you can go to titancourt.com. We have some 4-bedrooms and some 2-bedroom apartments. There's no meal plan attached because the apartments have a fully functional kitchen. So that's kind of the difference between a traditional kind of dorm room. If you're interested in athletics, we also have some athletic opportunities in the sports listed here. I would say that the best way to get more information about athletics is just contacting directly our coaches in any of the sports, and we're happy to facilitate those conversations if you need the help. And then this right here is the cost of attendance to go to Lane versus our 3 main public universities. Keep in mind that this is the date for this current school year, so we will be posting our new cost of attendance sometime in around late May, early June. So these figures will change. And if you need that information, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'm happy to provide that. But again, wait till like late May, early June. For many students, it is important to save some money, especially for those of you looking at transferring to universities. If that's something that's a concern of yours, here's kind of a breakdown of how much you can save in 1 year versus 2 years, and kind of the breakdown of the cost, the total cost to go to community college, in this case, Lane. So that includes like living expenses, books and supplies, and the tuition and fees cost, the estimated cost. And as mentioned earlier, we strongly recommend students to fill out any of the applications here listed as it relates to financial aid and scholarships. If you have not done so and you're graduating this 2021, there's still time to fill out the FAFSA or the ORSA, and so make sure you get that submitted if you want to be considered for federal student aid. We also have a foundation of scholarships. Unfortunately, this one was already due. The deadline to submit this one was in early March. But for those of you who are going to be seniors next year, or in the future, make sure you bookmark that date. We generally post it in early January, and the deadline is usually due early March. Again, if you're graduating this 2021, there's also opportunity for you to apply for the Oregon Promise Grant. The deadline is June 1st, so there's still time for this one. A couple of requirements to be considered for Oregon Promise is you must be attending any of the 17 Oregon community colleges. It could be us, it could be Central Oregon, it could be any of the others. You must have a 2.5 GPA or higher at the end of your school year, or pass all your GED tests, and then also must have a FAFSA completed, submitted, and or ORSA, one of the two. So keep that in mind. You will be asked to submit your high school GPA at the end of your senior year, or those GED tests if you complete a GED instead. And then here's our admissions process. There's a link there that directly takes you to the admissions process. It's very simple. Submitting an application, there's no fee attached to the application. It's a free application. And then after you've been admitted, you complete course placement and orientation, and then you are able to register. I'm a big fan of putting stuff in a kind of calendar, keeping track of dates and deadlines. Here's some key deadlines that I generally recommend students to keep in mind. Obviously, this is for the class of 2021, but similar dates will be applicable to those graduating in 2022 or later. And then for any kind of further questions that you may have, here is my contact information. So you can reach me via email. I do try to respond as soon as I can. You can also contact our general admissions email, or you can also give us a call. Even though we're working from home, we are able to talk to you over the phone. We can schedule sort of a virtual meeting. At this point, we're not, on campus, so we're not taking any in-person visits. We may be doing that late in the summer, early fall, but at this point, the best way to get connected to us is either email or calling us. So thank you again, and I will turn it back to your counselor.